Welcome back to another episode of the Stat Sheets podcast. Of course, you know who we are. I'm Alex with my guy Najee. Oh, wrong side. This side. Uh, and today we're gonna hop into some NFL talk. As you know, the NFL playoffs are ongoing, live and well. Some crazy matchups from last week. So upsets, some disappointments. But before we head into that, make sure if you guys like the content, hit that like button down below. And if you enjoy what you've seen over the past few months, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on the post notifications for every time we upload, because we got a lot of great content coming between the NFL with the playoffs wrapping up, heading into the Super Bowl, to the NBA heading into the All-Star game, and eventually into their playoffs. We'll have a lot of great content out for you. But without further ado, let's hop into some NFL playoff talks. And we're gonna start off with, of course, my favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens, hosting maybe the hottest rookie quarterback we've seen in some time, is CJ Stroud as we kick off the divisional round. Texans Ravens, what should be a good matchup, Najee. I think these teams played each other in week one of this season, and I'm just saying the Ravens held Stroud without a touchdown. Just saying. I know it was week one. That was his first start. It was different teams from week one till now. But obviously, I'm biased. I think the Ravens are a better team. We saw Stroud tear up the Cleveland defense. I think the Ravens defense was better already. And I think we definitely have a better offense. We all that talk about Lamar, is he capable in the playoffs? I think he's going to put that to bed this year. And I got the Ravens winning. I know you probably disagree, but
To me, like you guys heard him say, it's his bias. He's a Ravens fan. It's like
really.
me saying the Bulls playing the Denver Nuggets in the 7-game series, and I'm gonna say the Nuggets gonna win. I'm not gonna say it. So, but I definitely respect your opinion. And the week one CJ Stroud is not the CJ Stroud now. Week one Texans are not the Texans now. So don't expect those same Texans because you won't get them. That is definitely going to be a great matchup. I saw him tear apart that Cleveland defense, and I thought that defense was going to get in his face, bug him too much, and he wasn't going to have much going. That was not the case, and I do think they have a better defense than y'all. But you guys have a way better offense than Cleveland. Lamar is way better than Flacco. You guys have some great weapons and a great playmaker, a great improviser. And Lamar, I do not see how they lose this game. I will be rooting for the Texans. I will be hoping they win, but I feel like Lamar is going to pull this one through. And he's going to win it. But that's what we feel about that game. The next game that's on later that day, the 49ers are playing the Packers. And as a Bears fan, it's like I saw this video and it's like, I have one thing to look forward to, and that's the Packers losing in the playoffs. I watched them tear apart the Cowboys, and every completion, every rushing touchdown broke my heart. I need the 49ers to handle business. So who am I going with? Brock Purdy with that elite offense, that lockdown defense to dominate the Green Bay Packers by 21 plus points. And that's what I think is going to happen that game. Alex?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I've had the Ravens 49ers Super Bowl rematch in my head pretty much in every way. I don't see how the 49ers lose this one, but I mean I would be shocked if Jordan Love pulled out another upset. It shocked me last week when they beat the Cowboys, but then again, I shouldn't be surprised because this is what the Packers do. They
Yep.
they did it with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. They draft a guy high, let him sit and watch, one of the best. Jordan Love sat there and watched Aaron Rodgers for what, 2, 3 years, and he finally got his chance. He's not technically a rookie, but this is his rookie campaign, and he's
Yep.
shining. And he's, I mean, he already took him farther than Aaron Rodgers took him last year because they missed the playoffs last year.
Yep.
So already, I think a step ahead. This is what the Packers wanted. They've been hoping for. It's been a great season, but I think their season's going to end. Hey, bless you, my man. Bless you. I know I'm talking about them Packers. I know you're allergic to them. I get you. I get you. I get you. But yeah, the 49ers going to end their season here. Just a dominant all-around team. And then we're going to head into Sunday's matchup. This is a sneaky good game. The Tampa Bay Bucks heading into Detroit to play the Lions. I mean, who would have thought this would be a playoff matchup? These were two of the worst teams for a long, long time. Tampa Bay was trash before Tom Brady got there, and we know the Lions have been trash. They finally won their first playoff game in 30 years. First time me and you have both ever watched the Lions playoff win. That's crazy to say. But I think the Lions are riding the hot hand. They have a great coaching staff. Dan Campbell is such a likable coach. Just seeing him get the players fired up. Jared Goff revived his career. And I mean, Tampa Bay looked good. Baker Mayfield is starting to play a lot better. Their defense is great. Held the Eagles to 9 points. I think it was 9 points. Maybe it's 12. Couldn't
That was
remember.
9 or 9, 10, something like that. But
Yeah, either way, they won by a lot. But yeah, I think the Lions are riding the hot hand. They're at home. Their fans are into it, and that'll help them. That'll help them a lot. So give me the Lions winning this one.
I respect that decision, and they have a loaded offense, man. A great dual running backs, a great offensive line, a QB who knows how to use it, some weapons to pass the ball to. It's scary over there. It's real scary. But the only thing I hate more than the Packers winning is the Lions winning. I mean, Giants fans got to be loving the fact that the Cowboys and the Eagles lost. So the Giants are living a dream while Bears fans are somewhere punching the air. I'm Bears fans punching the air. This is going to be a great game. People sleep on the defense of the Buccaneers. The reason that the Buccaneers was good last year, even though Tom Brady was having a bad season, was the defense. It's
Hmm.
always kept them competitive, man. They have defensive playmakers, and they showed that last night, and they're going to show it again once they show up to beat the Lions. So I got the Buccaneers prevailing in that game against the Lions. I think it's going to be way better than the Eagles game, of course, because because the Lions are going to show up to play. But I just think that the Bucks defensively is going to be the reason they win. Baker Mayfield's having well, also I think that Mike Evans is going to abuse that secondary. But I got the Buccaneers winning that game. And with that being said, we have one more game, and these two teams constantly find themselves facing off against each other. Uh, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Now, usually when these two teams face off, right, the Chiefs get the jump and they win. So what's stopping them now, right? What is going to be the issue now? It's not going to be an issue, right? Rice is the guy. Patrick Mahomes knows that's the guy. You still got Kelsey. Pacheco hit the ground running, and he's taking off. And Pat's always going to make something happen. Not to mention, the Chiefs also have an elite defense.
I
You
do.
have to worry about that defense all around, minus the wide receivers, right? Because of course the wide receivers are getting worse. This is the best Kansas City Chiefs team in previous years because they have their defense. To me, is playing at a level higher than we have seen it. So Andy Reid's got something for the Buffalo, but the result's going to be the same. I like Josh Allen. I like Stephon Diggs. That team's time is coming up, and it's coming to end real soon. And it might be after the Chiefs beat them once again in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Chiefs Bills, man, every year they find their way, whether it's the script writers putting it that way or what. That's what a lot of people say. But finally, Patrick Mahomes going to go on the road in the playoffs. First technical road game in his playoff career. Um, they took care of business against Miami. And the Bills, I mean, for the most part, took care of the Steelers. I mean, they kind of let them come back a little bit, but I think that game was pretty much out of reach. It's going to be a good one. You could say, oh, well, Bills, Bills fans, they're going to cause issues for Mahomes. It's going to be cold. That may be true, but the Chiefs just played in one of the coldest games there was.
Yep.
I think the Chiefs are just they always find a way. And I know in the regular season had that catastrophe with Kadarius Toney being offsides. Bills finally got the win. It's not going to be the case this time. I just better coach team. Andy Reid's a better coach than Sean McDermott. I think Mahomes is a better quarterback than Allen. I think that Chiefs defense is going to play a big part because Josh Allen, he kept it clean against the Steelers. I don't think he's going to keep it clean this time around. He's going to throw some turnover. He's going to have some picks, some maybe even a fumble or so. I think the Chiefs are going to prevail. And So yeah, I got the Ravens Chiefs in the AFC title game and Niners Lions in the NFC title game. I don't know about that Bucks pick by you though.
Um, I just think the Bucks. I mean, you always gotta afford a sneaky winner too, but I definitely got the Ravens and Chiefs. And then I got the 49ers and Buccaneers. But to be honest, I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Texans won, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers won, only because that team has always been equipped all around as a football team. And then you stick Jordan Love in there, and he's doing what Aaron Rodgers was doing. And he picked it up, especially at the end of the season. So don't be surprised if those last two games go other ways. But with that being said, we have one more thing to talk about. I brought up earlier how the Eagles and the Cowboys lost. And this is what the Cowboys do. They're gonna lose somewhere down the line. They never get to the glory days. But which one of those two teams suffered a more disappointing loss? That is the question. Eagles fans know you did not have AJ Brown, but when you were 10-1, you were riding high after beating those Kansas City Chiefs. You were talking that talk. You guys, you guys just didn't seem like the same team to me that whole year anyway. And then you got the Cowboys, who you lost Diggs, and somehow Bland pops up dominating, and your team does everything on both sides of the ball. But with that being said, Alex, I just want to know, between these two losses in the playoffs, which one is more disappointing to you?
Yeah, I think this one is an obvious answer for me. I think it's the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, every year we hype up the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, this their year, this their year. Every year it's the same story and it's the same result. They're gonna lose in the playoffs. Just this time they didn't make it to the divisional round. They lost in Wildcard. They're the first team to ever lose to the 7 seed since the 7 seed became a thing. That is about as big of a disappointment as you could have. I mean, as for the Eagles, yeah, they were disappointing, but we kind of saw it coming. They were already spiraling downward. I mean, they were at the highest of highs, and then it just came crumbling. The last month of the regular season, they couldn't win a game. They couldn't buy a game if they wanted to. We saw them lose their division to the Cowboys. So we already kind of expected that. That's why they were playing on the road, because they collapsed. But as for the Cowboys, I mean, you should have took that momentum, beat the Packers. And I mean, this should have been their chance to compete with the 49ers. They were the 49ers at least supposed to be biggest competition in the NFC. And, they did what they always do and they collapsed. And I think it's time for a massive overhaul if they haven't decided to do that already. Dak's clearly not the guy. I mean, he had a great regular season, but when it comes to the clutch playoff times, he's not that guy. You could say he had 400 yards, but that's because in garbage time. Through multiple picks, um, the massive pick six, that was a killer. I think they need new coaching over there as well. Mike McCarthy has proven in the last 3 years he's just not that guy. You can say what you want about injuries. Every team has injuries. But this is just a massive disappointment for the Cowboys in front of their home fans after they were so dominant at home. That was clearly bigger disappointment to me, the Dallas Cowboys.
Um, I disagree, but it's because, one, you kind of had to expect that out of the Packers, right? I mean, what has really changed for them besides the quarterback? I mean, you lost Devontae, of course, but what has really changed other than the quarterback?
Man,
And
they
you
have
still
a lot
got
of
a good
young
offensive
guys.
line. You still got a good defense. Aaron Jones is still a Pro Bowl running back. He's just been hurt most of the year. They have a great team. And you got to expect that from the Cowboys. And to me, the worst part about that Cowboys performance wasn't Dak Prescott, it was the defense. Like Dak actually should have threw 4 picks, but we can say that about a lot of guys. You should have threw a pick, they dropped it. That happens almost every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just think that defense let them do whatever they wanted to do. They couldn't tackle, blown coverages. I mean, not on the same page at all. And that's where you do call the coaching into question, or got to hold the players accountable. There was a lot going on. But I think that as far as the Eagles, you make it all the way to the Super Bowl last year. Um, and your expectations coming into this year is, all right, we were there, right? Let's make the necessary adjustments. We don't need to adjust much. We're going to come back in here and we're going to do the same thing, right? And you fall short. You start off 10-1. have the best record in the league at a point, and then you spiral downhill. It was terrible. No, you didn't have AJ Brown, but you still had Julio Jones, you still had Devontae Smith, you still had DeAndre Swift, you still had Jalen Hurts, you still have what was supposed to be a good defense, but didn't really look like a good defense to me. I just feel like we expected more from them because we expected them to win. We didn't. We expect them to win. We don't expect the Cowboys to win anything. We always expect them to fall apart. You know, first round, the wild card, divisional game, AFC championship game, never get to the Super Bowl really. So you expect this from you. You didn't expect a complete collapse from them, from the Eagles, and to me, that's why it was just more disappointing because I expected what I saw from the Cowboys, but I expected more than 9 points from the Eagles. It was just a lackluster performance, and then I think they actually got a touchdown. They were I think it was a penalty on the Bucks, and they was at the 1 yard line, and they tried to do the tush push, and
Yes.
it stuffed. And at that moment, I knew what it was. I'm like, oh, they stopping the tush push. It's going to be a bad game. So for me, the bigger disappointment was the Eagles for sure. But and now that Jason Kelsey is gone because he said he's retiring, you don't know if he's going to come back or not. Um, that might be even bigger.
Yeah.
So a loss after a loss, and we might hopefully they can do something, but this looks like this Eagles team is spiraling down there from here.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to deny either one. Both disappointments, the NFC East, those were the two powerhouses. They were supposed to compete with 49ers, the Lions, but now you got the upsets, if you will, the Packers and Bucks heading on. It's making for a fun final 8 teams remaining. But that's going to do it for us here today on the Stat Sheets podcast. If you want to hear more about our NFL opinions, debates, whatever, make sure you leave it down in the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about next, and we will surely make sure to do that. But for now, I'm Alex. This is Najee. We will see you next time.